Ever find yourself, like, scrolling through those dating apps, you know the ones, and you're not even sure why you're swiping left or right. Like, what's driving that?
You'd be surprised it's not just you. A lot of it boils down to, well, sociology, actually.
Sociology. Okay, now, I know what you're thinking. Sociology, textbooks, lectures, all that. But trust me, this is different. We're going deep, uncovering the hidden stuff that really makes us tick. This is a deep dive, after all.
Exactly. It's not just about stating the obvious or, armchair psychology. Sociology digs into the nitty-gritty, those cultural norms, the power dynamics, the structures that shape our choices, even when we don't realize it. It's like,
Invisible strings, almost.
that's a great way to put it. Things we don't even see influencing everything we do. Let's take, for instance, the idea of romantic love. We tend to think of it as this magical, completely personal experience, right?
Yeah, totally. You just, like, meet your soulmate, it's destiny. At least that's what the movies tell us.
Right, exactly. But sociology asks, well, what else is going on here? What about societal expectations, economic conditions, even things like technology? These all play a huge role in who we're drawn to, how we build relationships, the whole nine yards.
Hold on, hold on. Are you saying my dating app is basically a sociological experiment?
In a way, you could say that. It reflects and reinforces so many societal norms, it's actually fascinating. But these invisible strings, they affect way more than just romance, obviously. Family
Oh,
dynamics.
don't even get me started on family.
Right. But think about it. Why are certain topics guaranteed to start an argument at every holiday dinner? Why do some beliefs run in families? And it's not just that. Your career choices, religious beliefs, even how you view the world. These aren't just individual decisions. They're influenced by this whole web of social forces we're talking about.
That's where that whole sociological imagination thing comes
Yeah.
in, right? I've
Yeah.
heard that before.
Exactly. Connecting those personal experiences to the bigger picture. It's like you might feel like you're making a totally unique individual choice, but zoom out a bit.
And you see a whole pattern of similar choices, often for similar reasons.
Exactly. So it's not just you being difficult when you argue with your uncle about politics, right? It reflects deeper divisions, power dynamics, things that play out on a societal level, but we see them in our own lives all the time.
Makes you realize how connected everything really is. But okay, let's say someone's totally new to this, never even cracked open a sociology textbook.
Mm-hmm.
What are some examples of these social structures we keep mentioning? What are we even talking about here?
Think of it like the architecture of society. We have institutions, right? Education, government, religion, even things like the media. Each one has its own set of rules, hierarchies, norms. They all influence how we act, how we relate to each other.
So they provide order, like a framework, but at the same time.
They can also be really constraining. They can perpetuate inequalities, limit choices. That's the double-edged sword, right?
Right.
Enabling and constraining at the same time.
Fascinating. But how do sociologists actually study all this? It's not like they've got a microscope for society, right?
Right.
How do you study these invisible things?
It's more like detective work, in a way. Sociologists use tons of different methods, observing everyday interactions, for one.
So, like, just watching how people act in different situations.
Exactly. But they also analyze huge data sets, like census data, economic trends, all that. They dig into historical records, too. And believe it or not, they even conduct experiments, just like in a lab, to test out their theories.
So it's not all just theories and abstract ideas. There's real practical research going on.
Absolutely. And it has a real impact, too.
Huh.
Sociological research informs public policy. It helps us tackle social problems like poverty and crime, even things like healthcare. And it helps us understand and navigate social change as it's happening.
It's like having a roadmap to a world that's constantly changing.
You could say that. And maybe even more importantly, it helps us become more informed, more engaged citizens. Because once you understand how these social forces work,
You can start to see your own role within them and make more informed decisions.
exactly. So it's not just about becoming a sociologist yourself. It's about developing critical thinking skills, seeing the world through different lenses, understanding that even our most personal choices are part of something much bigger.
It's about realizing we're all part of this intricate, ever-evolving web we call society.
That's a great way to put it. And as you go about your day, I challenge you. Put on your sociological glasses. Start noticing the patterns, the connections.
What social forces are shaping your world? What hidden influences are at play? That's something to think about. And on that note, that's our deep dive for today. We hope this sparked your curiosity, got you thinking about the world in a new light.